Junya Ishizaki clearly has a bit of a quirky sense of humor. In a recent interview, Chinese media asked him about the Raider and Guardian classes being way too weak in Deep of Night, to the point where teammates literally go AFK or quit the moment they see you pick them. His response?
We will consider optimizing the disadvantage range characters face in close combat.
Honestly, it's hard not to suspect that this green cornhead is getting some serious internal favoritism from the devs.
Band together and prepare to claim. The life of the Night Lord.
If you asked me to sum up a game in just one sentence, I'd usually say it's impossible. Every game has nuances, pros, and cons. How can you capture that in a phrase? But if you told me the game is Nightreign, I'd answer without hesitation. Nightreign is a piece of shit served over ice. From its launch, through countless updates, all the way to the DLC release, I feel this summary still holds up. This game is plagued with problems: rampant asset flipping, repetitive maps, absolute potato servers, terrible balance, vague tutorials, overly chaotic RNG on gear stats, and a never-ending list of bugs. And yet, the peak daily active users NADAO hit an astonishing 330,000. For a game that was cheap to make, wasn't planned for long-term live service, and yet sold 2 million copies of its new DLC, that is an insane achievement. So today, let's talk about Nightreign. Let's discuss how this game, directed by Junya Ishizaki, managed to pull off such a ridiculous comeback despite being review-bombed at launch and being technically, well, broken. I'll spare you the history lesson on Ishizaki and Miyazaki. We've all heard the Souls history spiel a million times. Let's jump straight into Nightreign. First, let's break down the composition of this shh. Number 1. Asset recycling. Forgive the harsh language, but if Ubisoft pulled the level of asset reuse seen in Nightreign, they would get absolutely roasted. But when Fromsoftware does it, fans just go, ah, look, it's a tribute to the classics. The main map is basically just Limgrave from Elden Ring. The weapons, accessories, and bosses are mostly lifted straight from previous Souls titles. The base game only has one big map. Sure, there are some unique terrains, but the match-to-match randomness is incredibly low. Every boss and terrain combo is tied to specific seeds. Play enough, and you know exactly where the element flasks spawn, which boss is in which zone, and exactly where the final circle is going to close. Now, let's talk about the actual gameplay loop specifically, the randomness. Nightreign clearly fails the roguelike plus battle royale label it was marketed with. Setting aside the horrible character balance, while the map lacks randomness, the equipment and relic stats have too much randomness. The most common scenario in a run is, this weapon and these stats are useless for my build, but I haven't found anything better, so I guess I'm stuck with this garbage. My god, why design a game that frustrates the player with bad loot while offering such a stale map experience? The progression within a match is unstable, and combined with the high base difficulty, Nightreign is incredibly hostile to less skilled players. But Ishizaki has a defense for this. We designed it so players can improve their own skills while playing. And facts have proven that the stereotype is true. Souls players are masochists. After Deep of Night launched, the number of players reaching Deep of Night rank 9099+ was far higher than Ishizaki predicted. He even said, the speed of player growth exceeded my expectations. Again, any other game would have been destroyed for this. The early negative reviews were really just the honest reaction of normal gamers stepping into the Souls sphere. If asset flipping and bad RNG are just gameplay issues, the multiplayer experience is actively challenging my sanity. It is hard to imagine a multiplayer game in 2025 without voice chat. Even League of Legends has a rich ping system in text chat. Nightreign? Nope. In a high-stress, fast-paced match, your only way to communicate is basic pings. In high-intensity Deep of Night runs, you don't even have time for emotes. You just end up looking like you have ADHD, wiggling left and right and weapon waggling, desperately trying to signal your teammates.
And on top of the communication blackout, the servers are, to put it mildly, trash. It's the classic Fromsoftware potato server experience. Lag, disconnects, and bizarre bugs. Loot disappears, monsters vanish, or in the new DLC, crystals don't spawn until you walk away and look back. You might say, disconnects happen in all games. But in Nightreign, a disconnect in Deep of Night carries a massive penalty. If you or a teammate crashes and you lose an entire day's worth of points. And don't even get me started on AFK teammates. You can't even surrender. You just have to hold your nose and suffer through the match.
Beyond that, we have the excessive input reading. Remember those videos of the Red Wolf dodging Lusat's staff spells in Elden Ring? That exact same blatant input reading has been copy-pasted into Nightreign. But with the new DLC map, how many of you have fallen to your death in Forsaken Hollows? This all stems from that signature arrogant Souls guidance design. This is how you walk, this is how you attack, this is how you roll. Okay, now here's a boss that one-shots you. Go get him, champ. But, and here comes the big but. If this game is so bad, why are the Steam concurrent player counts so high? Why did the DLC sell so well? Why have I played over 1,000 hours despite everything I just complained about? Why is launching this game the first thing I do when I wake up? Because this thing, it's genuinely addictive. It's flawed in every way, but damn, it is fun. Do all Souls players have Stockholm Syndrome? Maybe. Even though the assets are reused, the drop rates are garbage, communication is non-existent, and the stats are a mystery we have to solve ourselves, that tension of dancing on the edge of death, the rush of finally beating a boss, that feeling is real. Just like when the Night Goat was first released, everyone was getting absolutely destroyed by its ridiculous mechanics. Because we couldn't communicate in-game, the struggle was even harder. Ironically, this forced a unique bond among players. We had to scour communities for guides, share strategies, and upload clips the second we found a new mechanic. In the Chinese community, they even call this the Nightreign syllabus, treating it like a mandatory university course everyone has to pass. This community was built spontaneously by players trying to overcome the odds, and that's the Souls DNA. Struggling with everything you've got to defeat a boss feels 100 times better than an easy win, right? This stickiness is built entirely on us masochists suffering together, over and over again. Maybe that's why Ishizaki remained so confident even when the reviews were terrible. Speaking of those early bad reviews, I have to give credit to the update speed. It's hard to imagine a small studio approach like FS competing for best ongoing game. You could say Nightreign's reputation was salvaged entirely through updates. Everyone knows it's a flawed game. Even the devs know. In a recent interview, Ishizaki admitted that even with Nightreign's massive success, Fromsoftware won't shift their focus to it, nor will they make long-term plans just because it made money. Honestly, only FS has the guts to say that. Any other company would pivot all their resources to a cash cow like this, but FS says no. To them, Nightreign is just a standard project. If the quality doesn't meet their expectations, they won't keep updating it just for profit. They'd rather challenge themselves with something new and unknown. And honestly, that's enough. For Souls fans, Nightreign isn't a 10/10ths, but it's definitely an excellent tier game. It's a love letter to the fans, dragging famous bosses from across the franchise into one arena for us to challenge. It provides a server that, while crappy, is still infinitely better than previous FS multiplayer experiences. Nightreign's success proves the incredible loyalty of Souls players, and it might just be a bold experiment for a future genre from Fromsoftware. And hey, it worked. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe. I'll keep making more. If you think my video is trash, please subscribe so you can roast me in the comments. If you think my video was just meh, please subscribe and witness my growth. Basically, just subscribe. I'll keep making better videos. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.